There is right now an historical signal flashing on Bitcoin, and every single time so far that this signal has flashed, Bitcoin moved up in a very exponential manner. And yes, yet again, it is flashing right now on the market. And on today's update video, I don't only want to talk about the timings of this market, but no, I also want to be talking about this historical time that September flips bullish, because historically, every single year, September is green for Bitcoin. The following months in Q4 are even more crazy. So I'm going to be discussing, of course, the imminent short term on Bitcoin, what I think is going to be happening next year, this historical pattern, the M2 global money supply, and what it is telling us about my Bitcoin trade, and much more. Of course, I'm going to give you an update about where I think Bitcoin is ultimately heading towards, why I am ultimately still not taking any profits on my Bitcoin trade, because I think we can literally make millions and millions of dollars from this single trade here. So guys, this and much more will be getting discussed on today's update video. So don't forget to once again watch this video till the end, because a major breakout on the total tree is right now happening. And yes, this is truly the worst timing to, of course, fade the market. So guys, don't forget to once again slap up that like button. Back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. Of course, since it is right now weekend, there's not a lot of volatility on the lower time frames. And truly, if we're looking at the CME gap, we're creating a new one around $116,000. And ultimately, this one laying above us has been arguably already filled up here on some other charts here. So yeah, we filled up the CME gap. It was a matter of time. And now we're just purely looking at this week's gap here. But yeah, like expected, usually in a normal weekend, there's just not a lot of volatility. So that is basically the expectation right now here. And of course, for Bitcoin, ultimately on the lower time frames, we can clearly identify we've created an inverse and a shoulders pattern. We broke the neckline, we're breaking upwards, and any move towards the downside is going to be a massive opportunity still in this moment of time. And the price target of this smaller breakout is laying around $119,000. But ultimately, if we're looking at Bitcoin, we're seeing a major falling wedge pattern breakout. And this is, of course, a typical bullish bias reversal pattern, which is right now breaking out. And yes, the price target of this pattern right here is going to be sending us all the way up to about $124,000, which where I will be taking my first little profits of my trade on. So this is exactly happening on Bitcoin right now. But the most important thing here is that this historical signal is flashing again. And let me quickly show you all the previous times this signal occurred and what Bitcoin did after this signal occurred, right? So here is the chart, and here is where the bullish crossovers happened. So okay, let's go back in August 2023. We had the bullish crossover in the stochastic RSI while we were all oversold, and of course after that Bitcoin ran towards the upside very exponentially. Then we reset the price action, we had another bullish crossover. What happened afterwards? Bitcoin ran once again from about $39,000 all the way up to about $73,000, about an 80% increasement. Then later, of course, we had once again a major reset. And whenever we once again had that bullish crossover after being oversold, Bitcoin ran from about $60,000 all the way up to about $112,000. Yet again, about an 85 to 90% increasement towards the upside. Absolutely bananas. And then, of course, we had another reset, another bullish crossover. Bitcoin once again saw a big increasement from about $70,000 all the way up to about $123,000. And yes, history is once again repeating. An historical signal is once again flashing on the market. Bitcoin is already rebounding. And what we're seeing also is this bullish crossover. So what are we expecting next? I think a similar move here. And of course, I stated many times before, we are right now in that part of the cycle, guys. If you at least believe in the 4-year cycle, that we are going to be going most likely the most exponential, because Bitcoin goes the most exponential at the end stage of the cycle. And that is, of course, exactly the reason why I'm holding my trade still open. And that was also one of the reasons why I still wanted to long Bitcoin. Of course, it was obviously looking good. We were seeing that, of course, momentum was gaining again here. But of course, because I know in what part of the cycle we're currently in, it was, of course, also the reason why I went in towards these positions. So I believe still it is a good time to be long on Bitcoin. I still believe it's a good time to be long on altcoins, Ethereum as well. And guys, I want to be mentioning, if you want to be staying up to date about my trades and also many of the other trades I'm taking, because guys, if you look in the Telegram group here that we have created, look, this is only from yesterday. The amount of printing people are doing, guys, this is all from yesterday, is absolutely insane. So many people are making money in the group because there are so many trading setups shared by not only me, but also by the traders in the group and 5 other professional traders. So guys, make sure to join it. Many great signals are giving in this group here. It is very easy to join because all you need to do is go to the second link in today's video description and you can join this private Telegram group already. And of course, if you're in general interested in trading, just like I am, guys, the best place to trade your cryptocurrency is definitely on VX, because VX is by far, like you can see, the cheapest exchange out there. And if you sign up an account using that first link below, you will not only get a 25% fee rebate, making it even cheaper, but also you will get a deposit bonus up to 20% of the amount you're depositing. So VX will match 20% of the amount you're depositing as bonus. So a very attractive bonus right now available for everyone who is signing up. And again, using that first link in today's video description. So make sure to check it out for sure. But of course, we're getting this bullish crossover and I believe we're still going to be running higher. And that is why I'm holding my trades open further on as well. If I'm looking at the global money supply here, we are clearly right now heading towards a new trend towards the upside, where clearly the global money supply is increasing even further on towards the upside and going even more exponential. So more and more money is getting printed, and that is ultimately going to be leading towards higher prices. And so that is ultimately, of course, a very bullish thing here. Then I want to be mentioning the fact that September is right now a green month here. You can see it's plus 7%. And if we're looking back at all the data, previous data from Bitcoin, every single month, September was green. We basically saw the following months here, so October, November, and sometimes also even December, be extremely bullish here. So you saw it happening here in 2015, you saw it happening here in 2016, then you saw it happen in 2023, also 2024, and now once again September is turning green. So you already know what could be happening next year. So very interesting data that right now is playing out here. Also, I do want to be mentioning the fact here, if we're going to compare 2023, 2024, Q4 towards this Q4, yeah, you can just see what is going to come here, because historically Q4 is the best period for Bitcoin in the market. So definitely something to look out for. Then also want to be mentioning the fact that, of course, we called this hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin. Of course, we called this entire reversal, but this hidden bullish divergence on Bitcoin also exactly playing out right now here. The price action creating a higher low, RSI a lower low, momentum was of course strengthening, well, of course the price action was also creating a higher low here. So very great to see. And then of course I do want to be mentioning the fact that in 3 days from now on, we're going to get the next FOMC meeting. I will be also live streaming this event here, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, because yeah, we're going to get for sure at least 25% basis point in rate cuts, and hopefully it's going to be more, but for sure it's going to be spoiling a lot of volatility in the market. Then looking at Ethereum, we also exactly predicted this breakout right here. It moved towards the upside, but ultimately where I think Ethereum is going to go towards is much higher. I remain to be in my long position, and yeah, I've got my price target set up around $6,500, because yeah, that is ultimately where I think it's going to go towards. I already have my stop loss set up around $3,800, so if it really drops deep, yeah, of course I'm going to get stopped out with a nice little profit here. So yeah, this is my exact strategy right now for Ethereum. I think it's going to be running up all the way to about $6,500, maybe only 6,000, but that is my price target. And if it hit my price target, I will be making another $2 million only from of this trade here. So big betting what I'm currently doing on the market. And yes, whenever I think the top is going to be in, I'm going to be rotating towards short positions. So I would highly recommend, if you want to be staying up to date, but what I'm doing, to just subscribe to the channel, because I've been showing all my trades in the most recent period, and yeah, most of them have just been profitable. Actually, the last few trades I did here in July, I had more than $3 million in profit on an Ethereum trade as well, which I closed. And now, of course, I'm already in a new one, and the trades I currently have open are also about $1.2 million in profit. So we're just doing fine. But of course, I'm looking for another banger at the end of this bull market because, yeah, the bear market is obviously going to be quite brutal, but I am trading the market both directions. So that is, of course, important to understand. Then looking, of course, at the Bitcoin dominance, I ultimately really think there's going to be a big run on altcoins still yet to come here. It's not really a very popular opinion, but if I'm also looking at the total tree right now, we can just see clearly it is starting to be breaking out above this very critical resistance of 2022. And the Bitcoin dominance is just, if we're going to compare towards all the previous cycles, going to be most likely repeat yet again a very similar structure. It usually goes the most exponential at the end stage of the cycle, and that is exactly where we are in right now here. So don't forget that we're having another breakdown. The trend has clearly shifted. The total tree is breaking out right now. We're going to get rate cuts. Everything is aligning right now. And for Ethereum, if we do break above this high right here, I think it's going to be running a little bit higher. But ultimately, on the daily time frame, we're right now in this consolidation phase. And if we break above the high, I really think the next high is just going to be around 6,000 to 6,500. Why that level is because if I'm going to be setting up a bigger Fibonacci retracement and extension level, that is basically where I'm expecting major resistance is going to get found here. The 1.36 here. And ultimately, where I'm going to be scaling in towards big short positions for Ethereum is going to be the 1.618 here, which is $7,340. I don't think it is going to be likely going to be hit that soon or this cycle. That's personally my opinion. But if it does get hit, it allows me a good opportunity to scale in towards a massive short position. So this is what I will be doing, but obviously I will just keep you guys up to date. So what I would highly recommend if you want to be staying even deeper up to date is, of course, join the private group here in the second link in today's video description, because then you will be staying up to date on all the TA and all the data here. So guys, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.